I'm Pete Daniel, and I love to film the wildlife in my home of the Tamar Valley. The Tamar Valley is on the border of Devon and Cornwall. Join me as I show you the wildlife around the Tamar Valley for 12 months. Well, in this week's episode, I go back to the garden and start harvesting some of the crops that we've grown this year. I go looking for one of my favourite animals in the Tamar Valley, the fox cubs. Now they should be a little bit bigger. And I go back to the workshop to see how the swallows is getting on, because I'm thinking now there should be chicks in that nest, which would be ideal. Right, well, it's Sunday morning. I've come up to do the chickens, but before I do that, I come over to feed the bird table, and I was just looking at my sloes in the edge. Look at this, look. Absolutely brilliant. Bit early, mine. It's only the second week of August, and they're all ripe already. So I'm going to come up and pick a few of they, put them in the freezer before the birds have them, because that's my gin supply this year. Go. Good boy, yeah. Right, well that's the chickens fed and watered, and I've just watered the greenhouse. I just wanted to show you our tomatoes. We've got some brilliant tomatoes this year, and we got our tomato plants down at Beer Fairs from Mr. and Mrs. Wilmot, and they're absolutely fantastic. Now this here is a type called Tigerella. Now you can see why if you have a look at this. There, you can see the patterning on them, look. See the stripes, like a tiger, where it gets its name from. I think it's fantastic. Brilliant to look at. There's a ripe one there, look. So they've come on really, really well. And I'm going to pick a few of them in a minute, because being Sunday morning, it's fry up day. So I'm going to pick a few tomatoes, I'm going to fry them up and go with my breakfast. That'll be absolutely brilliant. The next thing I want to do, of course it's Sunday, it's roast day. So I'll be cooking a roast later on today. But first of all, I'm going to go to the garden and start getting some veg out ready for the roast. Brilliant. Right, well we know we've got a good crop of potatoes because we lifted a few the other week, which is absolutely brilliant. But this is what I'm interested in, is the carrots. I love carrots, especially homegrown ones. So hopefully, in this crop here, we're going to have something good. So I'm going to pick a few out and get some ready for the roast. Well, they are, that ain't too bad, is it? Eh? Not the biggest carrots in the world yet, but a few more like that, and that'll do for our Sunday roast today. That's absolutely wonderful. Fresh carrots, brilliant. Right, well I got my carrots and I got my tomatoes from the greenhouse, and now I want to pull up a couple of beetroot, because what I want to do today when I cook a roast is I want to roast a couple of beetroots. Now a friend of mine, Wendy, told me about this recipe, and I'm going to try it. Roasting them up with the spuds with a bit of honey on top. Sounds beautiful. Right, that's proper. They are ideal. Now they're going to be roasted today, and I've still got plenty more to go in a pickling jar. Absolutely fantastic. Well, of course, I'm cropping some potatoes so I can cook some roast spuds for later on. And we got some really good potatoes. We're getting some good sized spuds. I'm really happy with these. Of course, you get some little tiddlers as well. All right, I've got a couple of they, but they must come out the ground as well, because if you leave them in the ground, they could cause blight next year. Okay. Now, also, if your potatoes haven't been covered well enough, they start to go green with the sunlight, and they're no good for eating. So that one is going straight on the compost heap. Right, I think I've got enough spuds for later. They're absolute crackers. Look at these. Beautiful potatoes there, eh? They go well with a roast. Well, I'm happy. I got a good bucket of crops. I got potatoes, I got carrots, I got broad beans, I got my tomatoes and beetroot in there, and also I've got some of my lovely kale. So that's all ready for the roast later. But just looking in here, we got courgettes, we got gem squash, very kindly given to me by a friend of mine, but also we planted some butternut squash seeds this year, and finally it's flowering. So hopefully we're going to get some butternut squashes as well. There you are, look, starting to flower. That one's flowered, he's gone over, so hopefully the fruit is going to start on that one soon. But we got loads of flowers coming up, and that's the butternut squash, and we planted that one from seed. We got 2 or 3 plants in here, but that's the first one to flower, so that's brilliant. Another one coming there, fantastic. Of course, we've got gem squash over there. That's already flowered, but look, we got them coming. They're funny little things they are, little round things they are. Okay, now, these were given to me by a friend of mine, so they're on the way. And of course the courgettes over here, we've had a good crop off of these, but we're still getting flowers off the courgettes, so we're going to get more. So that's absolutely brilliant. Good stuff. Yeah, we've got some down there, look, coming already. Look, see them? There, fantastic. So in a few days time they'll be ready for harvesting. Good stuff, good stuff. So that's good stuff. So we're still getting a good harvest off the courgettes. We've got butternut squash on the way, and we got gem squash. So that's absolutely fantastic. Good stuff. Right, now it's time to get home and cook my breakfast. I'm looking forward to a fry up today. Right, with all the jobs done up at the garden, I can get on home now and get on with the breakfast. We have mushrooms from the valley, our own tomatoes from the greenhouse, and of course, eggs from our chickens. And then, as with all our meat, the bacon and the sausages are from John and the team down at J&S Downing, and they're proper. The end result is always a thumbs up from us. Absolute booty job. Well, that breakfast was proper, and that'll keep me going till tea time, which is good, because I'm making my way down now to the farm, and I want to spend the day there, because now the grass has been cut for second cut silage, I can try and see if my fox cubs are still about. Okay, well, I've come down the farm. I'm just making my way up to the field where I seen the fox cubs earlier in the year. It's been put down for second cut silage, which is ideal because Dad's cut it and the grass is down, so it'll make it a little bit easier to see the fox cubs. So I'm hoping to get up to the field, get my mask on, get my gloves on, get in the edge and just sit and wait. The sun's shining, it's absolutely beautiful. So fingers crossed, we'll see some of the fox cubs. Bingo! First cub. Well, that's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? First cub down on that bottom edge. I've got to try and get a little bit closer if I can. So I'm going to make my way in the field and then sneaky down the edge and see if I can get in around the back of the cubs. Fantastic! Oh, look, there's another cub. Brilliant. Is that no more than about 30 foot in front of me? This is fantastic. Not a care in the world, look. Brilliant. Oh, look. Cub number 3's just appeared out the edge. Oh, this is absolutely brilliant. I need to stay as still as I can now. She's very, very close to me. If I move now, I've had it. She'll be gone. But this is absolutely brilliant. Beautiful to see. She knows that someone's here, but she ain't too sure what it is. She is no more than about 15-20 foot away from me. This is absolutely brilliant. Would you know, I can't believe what I've just done. That was absolutely brilliant. I cannot believe as I walked up, that fox cub was sat in the grass running in front of me, not a care in the world. Didn't even know I was here. And then for another one to come out the edge, about 15-20 foot in front of me, unbelievable. I thought it was going to come and sit on my lap at one point when it kept walking towards me. That was absolutely brilliant. They've disappeared now, so I'm going to make my way back to the farm and leave them in peace. But that was absolutely brilliant. Can't believe it. Well, that was absolutely brilliant to see the fox cubs. One of my favourite animals of the Tamar Valley. I could sit there all day and watch them. Absolutely beautiful to see. I'm glad I did it when I did, because the weather is starting to change now, and unfortunately the weather's getting real nasty in the valley again. Good chickens. Right, well I couldn't do the chickens this morning, and you'd think with this weather it was October, November, wouldn't you? I cannot believe this is the middle of August. It's absolutely unbelievable. Shan't be doing much today, that's for sure. Get my jobs done and getting out of it. Dear oh dear. Hello, Fluff, aren't I? Yeah. Come on. Thank you. Go on, you way, look. Yeah, alright. Go, baby, yeah. You don't want to go there today, that's for sure. You want to stay in here in the dry. Hell are you? Well, of course, this weather's a nuisance to get on with the next side. You can't do nothing. Of course, this is where the potatoes are. The crops are underneath the soil. I want to try and get on and lift them before the worms and the slugs get in there and ruin it. But you can see the weeds has taken over, but you can't do nothing in this weather. It's just too messy. But of course, I cut the tops off of the potatoes to try and stop the blight coming. Of course, with this wet and warm weather, you get blight. But now I can't even get the potatoes out the ground. So fingers crossed, in the next few days, this will dry up, go away, and we can get the potatoes out and store them. That would be ideal. Well, I'm wet through, just for being up the garden doing my daily jobs for half hour. So I'm going home now for a cup of tea and get changed. There's naught for me to do outside today, but there is one thing I can do. So I'm off down the farm again to check on the swallow's nest. So fingers crossed. Right, okay, you may remember a few weeks ago I was filming the swallow chicks up in Dad's workshop at the farm. Now I was hoping to show you these chicks fledging the nest, but unfortunately I missed it. It was too quick, it was gone. I missed it all. But about a week or so ago I came back and set the camera up onto the nest because Dad said that he's seen the swallows coming back to it. So I came down one evening, I put the camera on, and there was Mum sat in the nest, which indicates to me there's eggs in there. So hopefully we're going to have a second brood. Now 2 days ago Dad messaged me to say that the eggs has hatched, which is absolutely brilliant. So I've come back down today and already I've seen Mum and Dad feeding the chicks. So we've got chicks in the nest and Mum's sat in there now at the moment. It's absolutely brilliant. You have a look at this, it's fantastic. So there you go, that's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? So hopefully I'm going to get a second chance to show you some chicks fledging from the nest. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get all my kit on, get all covered up, gloves and mask and everything, get my camera, and I'm going to sneak up that ladder again and hopefully try and film Mum and Dad coming back and feeding the chicks now. They're in very big, it's absolutely brilliant. I'm only a couple of days old. So hopefully I can get a few shots of that. But I'm going to leave the camera rolling here, but I'm going to get set up in the workshop and hopefully get some shots to show you. Fantastic. Right, okay, everything's set up, the ladder's there from last time. I've left the camera rolling. I've watched the adult birds are gone, so I'm going to get in a position and hopefully film the adult birds feeding the chicks. Okay, let's go. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to leave them in peace now. Fantastic.